Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. At Society, Tessa greets Maria with a hug and asks her and Nick, "What's going on?" Maria tells her wife that Sharon told them she was gone to Madison for business for Cassidy first, but she was lying. She went to check on her and she wasn't there. She explains that she called her and Sharon said she needed time away from her life and from them hovering over her to heal. Maria's learned she's not in Sedona. Nick sighs. They have no idea where she actually is. Eric Roberts says his addiction battle led to him losing his daughter Emma Roberts. At the motel, Sharon awakens in the dark to a knocking coming from the closed bathroom door. She turns on the lamp and sighs that it was just a bad dream. The knocking starts up again. Sharon asks, "Cameron?" The knocking continues. Sharon warns Cameron that she has no problem killing him again. Then she realizes that it's not Cameron knocking. Cameron is in her head. She calls, "Who's there?" She talks to herself and urges herself to run. "You can leave this room and never look back." She opens the door and Daniel is standing there gasping, "Cassie, Cassie," in a disembodied voice. He falls onto Sharon, who catches him and realizes the back of his head is covered in blood. Suddenly, Sharon awakens with a start and looks at the empty bathroom, the door of which is wide open. It was a nightmare. In the park, Faith leaves her mom a voicemail pleading with her to call her when she gets this. It would mean a lot to her to hear her voice. "I love you, Mom." Adam appears and asks Faith if she's okay. At Daniel's apartment, he hands Heather a tea as a peace offering. He's glad she backed off of the idea of moving away. Heather admits she still thinks they should leave and wishes they already had. She's willing to stay and listen to his and Lucy's arguments, but wasn't convinced. Daniel teases that she never liked losing an argument in court or at home. Heather will do whatever it takes to support her family. Daniel appreciates that, but doesn't want her to resent the decision. Heather says they're partners and will compromise. Heather and Daniel agree this is different than Savannah and go over his past situation. Heather assures him he's made it up to her and Lucy, but the loss of both of their jobs was triggering. Daniel's sure he'll get work soon. Heather knows he will, but this whole mess with Sharon. The amount of guilt she piles on you, it's hard for her to watch. Daniel gets it, but something tells him she won't be acting like that anymore. He tells Heather that Sharon apologized to him for how she treated their family. Daniel marvels at the honesty she showed him. "I don't know if I deserve it." He still feels responsible for Cassie's death. Heather says he was a teen and has grown into a good man. She wishes Sharon had apologized to Lucy as well. Daniel thinks it's clear she's still trying to figure out how to deal with her family. Heather doubts she'll trust her around their child again. She's erratic and scary. Daniel doesn't want to discuss Sharon anymore. He just wants to focus on their family. They embrace. At Society, Nick asks Maria to tell him and Tessa about her call with Sharon. Maria goes through the lies she told about going to Madison and the CEO canceling the meetings. They all find this scary. Maria says her mother claimed she was starting to feel like she was being interrogated and didn't care about the business meeting at all. But she was clear-headed enough to know what they were planning. Nick regrets using Faith in a cover story to lure her to an intervention. Maria and Tessa reassure him. Nick says he has more news, but it's not very encouraging. Nick explains that he reached out to Sharon's doctor, who was protective of her privacy as expected. He told him he was concerned he wasn't getting the whole picture. He told him if things get to the point that they think Sharon is a danger to herself or someone else, they need to call the police. Maria asks, "You don't think she'd do something like that, do you?" Maria recalls how Sharon said she couldn't live with all of them watching her every move, but she promised she wasn't considering self-harm. She's sure her mother needs help. Nick's doubtful she'd admit it or turn to her doctor. Her meds clearly aren't working, and she probably feels let down. He wishes he could find her, but she's not answering his calls or texts. Maria says she doesn't want them to know what's going on. At the motel, Sharon asks Cameron, "What are you smiling at?" He's just happy to see her. She asks if he gave her the nightmare. Cameron tells her to get over herself. He is her, so that would mean she gave it to herself. He tells her to stop playing the dumb blonde. She gave herself that dream to talk herself out of doing what has to be done.